They're wrapping up right now in Cleveland.
It's the second of two events designed to introduce voters to the many Republican contenders hoping to succeed President Obama. Craig Smith is here with more.
Greg, Liz, I watched this program with political consultant and former state GOP executive director Brendon Quinn to get his impression of what voters might take away from this presentation.
They're all looking for that gotcha moment.
Quinn points out how scripted much of this sounded. For example, what looked like a testy exchange between Governor Chris Christie and Senator Rand Paul.
When you're responsible for protecting the lives of the American people, then what you need to do is to make sure that you use the system the way it's supposed to work.
Here's the problem, Governor. I don't trust President Obama with our records. I know you gave him a big hug, and if you want to give him a big hug again, go right ahead.
Chris Christie was prepared for it because he had a response. I was more concerned about giving the hugs to the people after 9/11 and after that storm. So it was definitely both sides were prepared. They knew they were going to do it ahead of time.
He wasn't surprised to see questions dodged, as in this case where the frontrunner was asked for proof Mexico is sending criminals into the U.S.
If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be talking about illegal immigration, Chris. You wouldn't even be talking about it. This was not a subject that was on anybody's mind until I brought it up.
I'll give you 30 seconds to answer my question, which was, what evidence do you have, specific evidence?
Quinn thought Ben Carson seemed capable but uncomfortable, and thought the more practiced politician Jeb Bush did well.
He's raising the money, he's building an organization. If you look at the guys in that top tier, that's what they're doing, and they're creating that separation. And the longer you go, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to have that depth. You have to be able to have the money to survive. You can't be riding around in one SUV and a driver and just trying to do this volunteers. Getting on those ballots in all those states takes a lot of effort.
Bush's position at number 2 or 3 at the moment would change if Quinn is correct in his prediction that Trump will inevitably get out. He doesn't believe Trump truly wants to be president, that he's only involved to better himself and his business interests. Quinn thought Governor Kasich would likely go up in the polls after this. Senator Rand's mention of Christie and Obama hugging is a reference to a handshake of theirs in New Jersey after Hurricane Sandy a couple of years ago. Greg?
All right, thank you very much, Craig. 7 other GOP presidential candidates were invited to take part in a forum on Fox News Channel, which many refer to as the happy hour debate. It aired at 5 o'clock tonight. Those 7 did not poll high enough to qualify for prime time. Among them, former New York Governor George Pataki, who said his time outside of the political arena would actually be a benefit for voters.
I look at this country today, and I look at how divided we are. I look at how politicians are always posturing and issuing sound bites, but never solving problems. And what I did in New York was bring people together.
Several more Republican debates are expected before primary voting begins in February.